Hello, everyone. My name is Sabrina Young, and I'm with Young's Daughters Funeral Home. I want to thank you so much for joining us today, and I'm really excited. We had found a local artist called a company called Salado Glassworks, and we're really excited to share their story with you guys today. With me today, I have Gail. Please go ahead and introduce yourself.
How's it going? My name is Gail Allard. I am the owner of Salado Glassworks here in Salado, Texas. I've been blowing glass in the area, started up in Temple around 2002 and did an apprenticeship up there and then opened up my studio here in Salado in 2011. So I've been around for a little while.
Well, that's amazing. I'm really excited to hear about it. I think in the funeral industry, glass work had kind of piqued interest probably in the early 2000s that I have seen. Tell me how you started incorporating cremated remains with your glass works.
Yeah, a good friend of mine, she's actually a wildlife rescue person and we had gone into another conversation about it. But anyway, she said, you should I've seen it somewhere online. Maybe you should think about or take a look at offering the incorporation of remains in your artwork. She's like, I'm sure you could figure it out. So we actually, our old shop cat, Mr. Oscar, he had passed away some time ago, and I had received his ashes, and that was a good time to give it a shot. So after some experimentation and kind of getting our processes put together, we were able to, make some successful memorials out of his ashes. So yeah.
So tell me a little about the process. How does it work? So a family comes in and they either have cremated remains or they don't have them with you. Say you get an online purchase or something or a request. Walk me through a little bit about how that is a start to finish purchase.
Yeah, sure. So there's a couple of different ways. Folks usually come into the studio. Oftentimes we get an email, saying, "Hey, I'm not sure where to start with this process. Can you help me out?" And then from that, Cassie, the gallery manager, she's really good. We're very sensitive about, the kind of the things that we're dealing with. So all those questions initially handled by Miss Cassie, how to get the ashes here properly, how long it's going to take. A lot of people will ask if they can be involved in some way, and no, you cannot. But yeah, so if you give us a phone call or come into the studio, you have the ashes with you or you don't, we'll make sure that they get to us carefully. We process everything, with care and dignity, and we'll make your memorial for you and have everything presented, back to you whenever we're finished.
So talk about educate people about the several styles of memorials that you offer. Does it range in different products, in different colors? What would they expect to see if they were wanting to do something like this?
So we have kind of three main, actually, uh, four, four or five. It changes all the time because we're adding a couple of new things here and there. But four or five different styles of the memorials. We have kind of just a round sphere. We have a teardrop shape. We have a heart shape, and then we have a couple of different sizes of what we call the eternal flame. So the sphere, the teardrop, the heart shape, those kind of fall under like one size. And we don't always have a one size fit all. Sometimes someone comes in and says, "Hey, can you do this a little bit different?" Which is kind of cool. There's other companies out there that make similar products. They use the remains, and they're pretty definitive on what they have to offer. They have a catalog, and sometimes we prefer when people can come into the studio and talk face to face and say, I don't really like these colors, but can we do a little something different? And we have that face to face ability to say, yeah, let's change that color a little bit to whatever color, they really liked and all that. But we have, four or five kind of standard shapes and items that we make. One thing that we do a little bit of, aside from like our spheres and things like that, we made some little pocket stones for people that want something that kind of goes in their pocket change, to keep keeping on your side all the time. So we do a couple of little different things, but for the most part, we have a few items that we specifically make.
Is there any way to inscribe or etch or laser any names or dates or sayings on these glass items yet?
So we don't have the capability to do any kind of etching. That would be handled by, someone else that does that specific, um, you know, part of the memorial. Award companies will make bases and those kind of things. We could probably find somebody to help us out with that, but we don't really do any kind of inscribing on these memorials.
Well, I think what you guys are offering is very heartfelt. I think that it is a very specific group of people, especially your more artist-like people. And I've seen and heard much about you guys, and I've been meaning to come over and introduce myself. I know we've been playing phone tag over the years. I'm like, hey, I really need to lock this interview down with you guys. So if you have brochures, if you have anything that we can showcase you guys, we would love to partner, especially for the stones. We've heard of other companies called parting stones, and you send cremated remains to them, and then you get about 30 to 40 stones. So, are you flexible with making as many stones, or could it just be one up to 30? What is your process on making those?
I mean that quantity has never really been kind of brought up or talked about in here. Usually it's just a handful, three, four, or five, depending on however many family members there are. But if we haven't done before, we can always talk about it and see if it's something that we can help achieve with whoever wants to come in and talk about that.
That is awesome. Any new ideas coming in the future from your business?
Well, maybe not a new idea, but we're still trying to perfect the dog bone out of glass. So check back with us on that, and maybe we get uh, the dog bone glass piece down pat.
Well, we are a pet-friendly funeral home, and so if we can, infuse some of our cremated remain animals and pets into the dog bone one, that would be kind of cool for our families, I think.
Yeah, or something with the cat, but we'll put our minds to the paper and see what we can come up with.
Great. Well, I definitely look forward to coming and taking a tour of your studio soon and showcasing you. We're gonna definitely keep you in the forefront, and I can't wait for our families to start partnering and finding a healing, meaningful way to have their cremated remains at their home. So, again, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much, and have a great day. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, everybody. If you'd like any more information, please, you can Google Salado Glassworks, or Gail, do you want to tell them how to get a hold of you if they wanted to place an order?
Yeah, sure. You can saladoglassworks.com. There is a tab on there that'll say is a memorials. Yeah, memorials tab. That will kind of give you a preview of what we have available to that we offer online. And you can also come to the studio at number one Peddlers Alley in Salado, Texas. You can also give us a call at 254-947-0339, and we can help you out.
All right. Well, you can have it, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tag families that would like to repurpose their urns. Maybe this would be a healing memorial for them again. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day.